Sitting along the northeast shore of Lake Michigan is a friendly community where the water is crisp and the sunsets come in colors you didn't know existed. Nestled along US 31, Bear Lake first boomed in the 1870s. Brothers George and David Hopkins were in the brick manufacturing business in a neighboring town. But upon seeing the thick forests of Bear Lake, they made quick work to set up a sawmill and constructed a railroad that carried the lumber to meet ships headed to Chicago. The Hopkins brothers wasted no time plotting the village streets and lining them with maple trees, constructing several homes and businesses that still stand today. Many of the homes shared a similar footprint and style for the ease of construction. Very few of the homes have been restored or renovated and are anxiously awaiting the opportunity to once again be savored and enjoyed. By 1902, most of the timber had been cut, and so it was time for George Hopkins to move on. He closed the sawmill and railroad near the lake. He donated the land for the village to enjoy as a campground and public park. It was rightfully named Hopkins Park, and it remains so to this very day. Campers fill the available lakeside spots every summer, and the park is used for many community events. However, the park is in desperate need of repairs. During the lumber baron's heyday, the downtown district thrived with many businesses. Since then, the businesses have come and gone, and historical buildings have been left vacant and neglected. Just 5 short years ago, Bear Lake was facing disaster. The town was overrun with blight, and an Easter Sunday fire in 2017 brought the entire community to the main street. When the smoke and ashes cleared, the damage was assessed. The loss? 2 historic buildings with minor damage to other structures. 6 months after the fire, this little town mourned the loss of another one of its oldest buildings, the Village Variety Store. Built in the 1800s by the Hopkins brothers, the variety store fell into disrepair through a series of unfortunate events. It went back to the county due to neglect in taxes. And when bricks began falling into the sidewalks, well, it was deemed unsafe beyond repair. In the winter of 2018, crews carefully took the building down. What remains today are several historic buildings and ample opportunity for the revitalization of Main Street. New business owners have moved in and invested in the town, but there's still much left to do to help the beauty of the downtown match the beauty of the lake. They have diligently worked to get themselves ready for this next step. They've held many town hall meetings to develop a shared renovation vision, and their leaders have taken necessary steps to ensure that they're ready for revival. With all the work that's been done in the last 5 years, there's not going to be a more perfect fit than Bear Lake. Unlike other communities, Bear Lake has multiple properties within the Manistee County Land Bank.
So a land bank is a completely separate entity. It's really valuable to the community. We can take properties that have perhaps been foreclosed on or they're blighted, but then we can take that, and the best summary that I like is taking it and recycling it to productive use. So we can hold on to that property until somebody comes with a plan that really fits the community and is best for the community.
One of my favorite projects that we have been able to do within the Manistee County Land Bank has been to donate a property with a home on it to Habitat for Humanity. And so they were able to get a family to help rehab that property, and that property will return to the tax roll in a better state than it was originally.
Though times have been hard, this little community has persevered and survived. No matter how bad it got, the community spirit never wavered. On the darkest days, it kept working and never quit.
Bear Lake has a lot of community pride. We've had great successes, we've had some setbacks. But there's one thing that I've never heard our people say: why don't we just quit? We don't quit.
They actually got stronger through the tough times. They've rolled up their sleeves, put on their thinking caps. They've used their resources and got to work. They knew they couldn't do everything, but they knew they could do something, and that is exactly what they did.
We knew we were at a very pivotal point in our community, and we knew we had to do something. And it just so happened that we just finished up the plan with Beckett and Rader, and we knew what the stakeholders wanted and the community members wanted from our work sessions, and that's really how the banner project was born. Originally, we wanted to do some crowdfunding and have 40 banners hanging throughout our US 31 corridor, and in the end there was such a great response, we ended up with 64. The day that we put the banners up in town, we had people honking their horns, hanging out their windows, cheering, bringing us snacks and drinks. We proved to the community that we could start a project, finish a project, and see the fruits of our labor in a very short time period, and that is what started the ball rolling. We did a phase 2 of the project because of the outpouring of support from phase 1, which were our summertime banners. So we decided to do a second round, which was our winter banners.
As a result, enthusiasm has built enthusiasm, and more people have joined the effort. It's a community of volunteers, teaching the importance of volunteerism from a young age.
As crazy as it sounds, you almost have a hard time keeping up with the demands of the students, because the more they volunteer, the more they want to volunteer and to continue to give back.
I have loved all of them. I loved raking up leaves, I loved tire cycling, I loved polar plunging, I loved walking the 6 miles of beach. It just gives you that feel good, oh, I did something good, and it's not for yourself. You do it for other people.
When we first started, it would only be a few students here and there, and the more and more we volunteered and the more and more we helped out, and we were like, okay, this was a lot of fun, it made so many big impacts. More and more people came to join in because they realized how good it was and how beneficial it was.
It makes you feel like you can actually give back, you know, and not just be like, you can't do that, you're a 14-year-old. It makes you feel like you can actually do something to help. We put in the effort to give back.
So, HGTV, if you want a town that has a never-give-up attitude, the willingness to roll up their sleeves and get to work, and a great respect for its historical and natural treasures, choose Bear Lake, where the pace is slow, the politics are easy, and where children and adults work side by side to make their little town a better place.